Oh, fuck! My dumb ass forgot to do something.
Da, da, da,
Oh,
da.
Lord! Oh Lord!
So, we're just going to start early by saying that video is not going to get as many views as it has been getting for the last 20 weeks. So
yes, well, so we have to do it. We got to give him one more shot. We got to do it just one time for the runtime. You know what I'm saying? Just once. You know, we gotta dabble in it just a tad bit. You know, like, we gotta show him some love. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a rough
time. You've forgotten to do this.
Well, you know what happened? It's because they changed how they did it. And you know what's hilarious? That with the updates that StreamYard has done, it actually becomes a lot easier to do. And I'm a dumbass. But that's okay. You know why? Because America, we love you. All right? We love you. We're going to do it right. You ready? Are you ready, sir?
Sure.
Okay. Don't look at me like that. You know what time it is. You know how it goes down. Yes, back for the last time, but not the first time. This is That Damn NFL Show. That's my man Big Sid over there. I'm your boy Hollywood J Black, live in the building once again. You know how we get down. Big John is in the building. We know he's bobbing his head too. You know how we do it. It is Super Bowl weekend. You know what that means. Let's go. Alrighty. I love that. I'm gonna be sad that I'm not gonna hear that song for the next 8 months. Well, 7 months. I'm gonna cry now.
Well, you know that's when we decided to do our very early football predictions.
Very early, yes. Very early to the point where afterward you get
tomorrow right here on Synful Blaq.
Damn, before draft and everything else. Well, remember last year, Big Sin? We had big plans after the last Super Bowl. We had plans of I was gonna get plane tickets. We was gonna go to Vegas. We were going to be there for the NFL draft. Your cousin was supposed to be there. The whole thing was supposed to be popping. And everybody was supposed to be on this wonderful adventure. And then COVID just said, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out. Okay? So
it's been an interesting 12 months from last year.
Yes, it has. One, a lot of people haven't made it, but I'm glad to say that we have. We've actually evolved as people. We came out with new content. We came out with, wonderful avenues of doing what we do even bigger and better than before.
Now we have people demanding baby metal now.
Yeah, see, we have a Japanese following that is unsurpassed. Okay. We must now get passports and go to Japan at this point. We might as well just become honorary citizens.
Fly internationally. We are not allowed to.
They don't have to know that. We'll just come in by boat. Oh, is that not going to work? No? Damn. All right. Well.
That gives a complete opposite version of that show fresh off the boat.
Two large gentlemen from America stepping into Japan. Nothing can go wrong, right? Nothing can go wrong at all. They don't even...
Too simple.
Oh my Lord. That'll be fun. We should do that. Anyways, so if you haven't been following us recently, or if you haven't been following us recently, shame on you, because the Tom McDonald fans show out everything. The Ninja Sex Party fans show out. Now we got Baby Metal fans showing out. Synful Blaq Reacts is popping. So what?
Let's be real. Ninja Sex Party showed out for us.
Yes. Oh yeah. The NSP Clickalations showed out for us. Big Sin, make sure. I know this is live, so tell them what they got to do to make sure that they stay connected with all of us, bro. I know it's at the beginning, but bless them with the spiel.
Really simple right now. Whether you're watching us on Facebook, there's probably a blue button that says follow. If you're watching us on YouTube, there's a red button that says subscribe. Just slap that bitch like it's your ex-wife. All right, just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Okay, like Nike style. So,
but don't take it easy, because then nobody will like it.
Yes, exactly. Damn. So before we get into the Super Bowl and predictions on that, we got to talk about a few things. First thing and foremost, the NFL awards came out today.
Yes, the NFL 10th annual NFL honors was today.
Oh, look at Big John said real quick. Big John said Saturday night, Synful Blaq live, whiskey, Fall Guys, and football. Hey, it don't get much better than that. Spike Lee couldn't paint a better picture.
That means halfway through this show, he's going to be pissed off because he can't win Fall Guys.
He's going to be, God damn it, son of a bitch, fuck.
So, all right, let's just jump into the NFL honors real quick. And this year, the MVP is not in the Super Bowl because the MVP did not run to get closer to the end zone or in the end zone, and his name is Aaron Rodgers.
All right, so sadly, I would love to talk about these NFC Championship games and the AFC Championship games, but I learned a very valuable lesson here in that the Green Bay Packers do not trust Aaron Rodgers. That's simply what I'm going to take away from this from the NFC Championship game. They don't trust him. They have no faith in him. And that's about it. That's my takeaway from the NFC Championship.
Me and you talked about it. I know me and John talked about it. That even if he wouldn't have scored running, if he would have got positive yardage, which he had a good 10 yards he could have got easily, then their coach would have been more likely than not to go for it on fourth down and not settle for a field goal.
True. I'll give you that. But we have to remember this is Mike McCarthy who made his whole entire career off of Aaron Rodgers.
No, you take your ass back about 5 years. Mike McCarthy is not the coach of the Green Bay Packers.
No, that's the point I'm saying. That's what I said. Is that Aaron Rodgers doesn't realize that it isn't Mike McCarthy, who basically his whole entire career is based off of Aaron Rodgers. Let's call a spade now. Mike McCarthy wouldn't be shit without Aaron Rodgers. Point blank, period. It's not nothing to discuss. It is what it is. Because without Aaron Rodgers, what did the Packers do? It's two words, nada and goddamn thing. Okay, that's what it is.
Can I say one thing here?
Yeah.
In about the last 35 years, the Green Bay Packers have had Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers and have only won 2 championships. Mm-hmm. That is a franchise problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you know, it's hilarious because you think about it. I don't think that Brett Favre had one of the most high-powered offenses when he did win the Super Bowl. He had 3 of the best receivers in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers, when he won his Super Bowl, he had 3 of the best receivers in the NFL. But yet, when the things don't go the way they're supposed to, everything falls apart. Seemingly, Green Bay can't get past Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Green Bay, the second time around when they had a chance with Favre, couldn't get past Elway. This time around, couldn't get past Brady. Favre even with Favre was it? No, I can't. We can't call Eli Manning a Hall of Fame quarterback because that was his Achilles heel.
He'll be a Hall of Fame quarterback because he's won the championship.
Yeah. Well, true. So, I mean, we could. I mean, it's really, whatever, right?
And he beat the best team of all time in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So he may go down in the Hall of Fame. I mean, you'd have to put him in there. Can you do it immediately? I don't know. I mean, the kid has literally broken even with passing touchdowns and interceptions. He still
got more rings on his finger than 95% of the Hall of Famers.
Very true.
Marino.
Very true.
Philip Rivers.
And outside of David Tyree, I couldn't name a receiver on that first Giants team. I think Mario Manningham was there, but he was dead halfway.
The only reason you can name David Tyree is because he made a catch that was once in a lifetime.
Exactly.
And think about it, Mario Manningham and Plaxico Burress were the big name receivers on that team.
Yeah. So I have a question for you since we're talking about Super Bowls. It's something that I've been sitting on my mind. Is LeGarrette Blount the Robert Horry of the NFL?
No.
No? If there was a Robert Horry of the NFL, a guy that he wasn't superly important until it was crunch time, but somehow seemingly has won multiple championships, who would that be?
Well, I would say LeGarrette Blount, but it's funny I'm going to say this, and people, because they called him a system quarterback for 6 championships, you would just have to say Tom Brady.
But Tom Brady is the man.
But listen, remember when he was in New England, they said he was nothing more than a system quarterback.
Yes. But, you know what I hate about that, though? And I've told people this countless times about Tom Brady. I say this. You can call Tom Brady a system quarterback, but you have to also let it be known that he played in 4 different systems.
And not only that, he is still playing at the age of 44 at an elite level.
Let me rephrase that. 5 different systems. I'm sorry. If I be remiss, he's playing his 5th offensive system going into Tampa Bay. So for those that have not been keeping count, he's also made coaching careers out of coaches that probably shouldn't have had coaching careers. Charlie Weiss.
Brian. Charlie Weiss.
Yeah, Charlie Weiss as an offensive coordinator, right? And then we had Joe Scarborough, whatever his name is, Scam, whatever name. Not Scarborough. It's the dude with the last Scarinelli, or what his name is.
No, Scarnecchia was not an offensive coordinator. He was just an offensive line coach. That's all he is.
But he was an offensive advisor when Josh McDaniels went to Denver.
Yeah, but the offensive coordinator during that time was Bill O'Brien.
Well, that's the thing, though. Scarnecchia and then Bill. So Scarnecchia did call plays at some point because that's actually listed in the thing. At some point, they didn't have an offensive coordinator, but Scarnecchia was an offensive person.
If you remember, Scarnecchia retired halfway through that season and then came back of the recent Year championship.
Yeah, so you think about it. So that's what I'm saying. So now he played under 2 offensive coordinators in the same season with Scarnecchia and Bill O'Brien. Okay. Then he played under Josh McDaniels. 2 versions of Josh McDaniels' offense. Okay. And Charlie Weiss offense. And now he's played under Byron Leftwich's offense. And Bruce Arians is the defensive guy, but this is Byron Leftwich is the offensive coordinator.
And to be honest here, Bruce Arians already come out and said that he doesn't coach. Tom Brady coaches the offense.
Yep.
He is now his own offensive coordinator.
Yeah. So, and I know that John's gonna get on me about this one, but I'm a Niners fan, and let's talk about Joe Montana's heritage for a second. Bill Walsh designed the entire West Coast offense. Like, he is the architect, the founder of the West Coast offense. So, in a very literal sense, okay, when you go down the tree, it's still the West Coast offense, regardless of who ran it. Whether it was Seifert, Holmgren was there for a minute, Shanahan was there for a brief minute. Everybody that fell into that Bill Walsh tree was all the same entire offense.
Schottenheimer one of those 2?
Huh?
Wasn't Schottenheimer one of those 2?
No, I think Schottenheimer was different. Schottenheimer was a defensive guy, if I remember correctly. Schottenheimer, I thought it was always defense. Oh no, he was offense. I'm thinking of the family, the buddy, the Ryans. I'm sorry, they're defensive guys. Yeah. But I know easy. You know, John's like easy. But I'm just saying. I'm not saying that we diminish Joe Montana. Okay, I'm not saying. I don't want John to ever think that. I don't want John to ever think that, because I think that Joe Montana, for the era that we're talking about, he's the GOAT. Okay, there's nobody that in a short period of time won as many Super Bowls as Joe Montana. Point blank. Period. Nobody's done it. Not even Brady done it. He won 3 in one sector.
I'm gonna fight you on this one here, because Joe Montana let's not forget, Tom Brady did play in the rough NFL.
Oh yeah.
He's not always here for this cakewalk that quarterbacks have now. Tom Brady is a product of the rough and tough NFL. And on that point, Joe Montana left the NFC, went to the AFC, and couldn't do it. Tom Brady went to an NFC that has 3 or 4 future Hall of Fame quarterbacks in his first season there, and took the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the Super Bowl.
So hold on. So I'll say 2 things. We all know the reason why he didn't want to leave San Francisco. He was forced out of San Francisco. It's kind of the same similarities as what happened in New England. Like, Tom Brady didn't want to leave New England. He was forced out of New England. Let's call a spade here, okay? Because if it was up to Tom Brady, he would have helped. Bill Belichick would have helped. He would have had Bill Belichick build an actual squad around him with the players that he wanted, and we wouldn't be having a Mahomes conversation in the Super Bowl. We would probably be talking about Breeze Brady in the Super Bowl, and that moment that you saw with Breeze and Brady passing around at the end of the game would have been a Super Bowl moment as opposed to a divisional game moment. Okay. With that said, the AFC was ran by one man and one man only, Jim fucking Kelly. Jim fucking Kelly dominated the AFC in the late 80s, in the last part of the 80s, going into the mid 90s. There's been, you can look up the statistics. The problem with Jim Kelly is that in the playoffs, he diminished completely. I looked up the stats, looked up the statistics. His playoff vibe completely just went off the rails. Hold on, John Whitby says people seem to forget that Tom Brady is a witch. I don't. Joe Montana should have never went to the AFC. Joe Montana really should have stayed in the NFC. The NFC did not have as many good quarterbacks as the AFC did. The AFC had what was it? Well, they had Marino. They had Kelly. We just got done talking about that. They just had drafted a young Drew Bledsoe. Okay. We had the Jets.
Drew was in '96. You had Zolak in New England.
No, remember, no, Drew was in '94. '94, he was in the '94 draft.
In '96, it was in Super Bowl. Never mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was in the '94 draft, and the Jets have Boomer Esiason. You go over to the Browns. The Browns still have Bernie Kosar. Pittsburgh didn't have a quarterback because remember we had the Pittsburgh conversation a few weeks ago. Nobody talked about the '90s Steelers. Well, they had Neil O'Donnell. That's about it. We don't even talk about fucking Neil O'Donnell. The Houston Oilers have Warren Moon. You know what I'm saying? Who else we talking about? We talked about Browns. Well, they only have 4 in their division. Kansas City was all running, no passing before Montana got there.
That was Marcus Allen team.
Yeah. And then Denver still had John Elway. Imagine having to play John Elway. I mean, he did end up playing John Elway twice a year, but shit, man. And then the Raiders, that's always a rivalry game. You do the math on that one. Joe Montana wasn't happy. You can name Troy Aikman, Steve Young. Who else in the NFC was a running conference. They weren't even passing conference.
You had Phil Simms and Hostetler. You had was Hasselbeck in the league then?
Nope, that Hasselbeck wasn't even around then. Not until later. I'm telling you, in the mid '90s, if Joe Montana would have been in the NFC, I tell you where he could have went to. John's gonna like this one. If with the receiving core that they had, if Joe Montana would have went to the Detroit Lions, the Detroit Lions would have won a Super Bowl.
With With Barry Sanders, yeah, they would have.
Barry Sanders, Herman Moore, and those other two receivers, Mel Grade kick returners, dude, they would have won a Super Bowl. Scott Mitchell put up Hall of Fame numbers. Scott fucking Mitchell. Come on now. Scott Mitchell of Hawaiian Sophie fame. Fake little whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Scott Mitchell was Philip Rivers without talent. That's what Scott
I'm just saying.
McMahon over there too.
I'm just saying. He said, John says Patrick Mahomes is going to have a game-winning touchdown run. Nobody's around him, and out of nowhere, he slips onto a banana peel, fumbles the ball, and return for touchdown. Tom Brady gets number 7. Told you he's a witch. I can't believe he fumbled, Jim. What is that? He was wide open.
Patrick Mahomes is going to fall into that Daniel Jones thing when he ran for 80 yards and fell down. Yeah, that's going to happen to Patrick Mahomes.
I'm just saying. The thing, though, with Brady is something else. Brady is...
Oh, we missed one other quarterback who never won a championship but should be part of this conversation.
Who?
Randall Cunningham.
Oh, yeah. You know what, though? The one thing that Randall Cunningham didn't have was receivers. Like, he did not.
He was that.
He was. The Eagles had that vicious offensive line with Reggie White. And you know when Reggie White left, the Eagles weren't shit after that.
Defensive line. You
know what I mean. They had that defensive line until Reggie White was gone, and then it wasn't shit for a few years until they got them boys Hugh Douglas and them in the late 90s, 2000s. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't, the Cowboys, of course, were the Cowboys. The Giants, of course, everybody hated the Giants. And then who else? The Cardinals. The Cardinals weren't going nowhere. They didn't draft Jake Plummer till 96, I believe. 96, 97.
Yeah.
But you think about that. 94 Detroit Lions with Barry Sanders and Herman Moore and that defense that was legit.
Barry Sanders, unathletic Philip Rivers.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. I know
people don't realize something when I say this. Philip Rivers is not athletic at all.
No, he's anti-athletic.
What's worse?
he is anti-athletic, bro. That's like I wish there was one. That's it. It's anti-athletic. We're gonna have to do T-shirt anti-athletic quarterbacks, and we're gonna have Philip Rivers on there, Dan Marino, anybody that's like 6'5", 245 pounds, but like not in shape, but can throw a fucking football. Okay, fucking Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. I could throw a fucking football over a mountain.
Anyway,
we went off on a tangent. That's one of our tangents.
The Walter Payton Award winner, and again, he got no MVP votes. Russell Wilson.
Yeah, well, I mean, what was a promising season that turned into a massive tank. They backed into the playoff. I mean, they backed into the NFC West Championship.
Got beat 3 times by a guy who just got traded to the Detroit Lions.
Listen, I think we beat all of our division opponents, right? At least once. The San Francisco 49ers, because we beat Seattle.
But the Rams beat Seattle all 3 times this season.
Yeah, all in the ass whooping of a lifetime.
Much deserved. The coach of the year is Kevin Stefanski of Cleveland. He turned around a very bad team.
Hold on, wait. John says Pat throws to a wide open player and the ball gets sucked into a black hole in midair. Tom Brady gets number 7. John says, can we discuss how Brady has been in almost 20% of Super Bowls? John says, hopefully Tyreek doesn't break another kid's arm. God damn. Oh, jeez.
Yes, that is an interesting fact that he just said. Because me and him were talking about it the other day that Tom Brady has been in 20% of Super Bowls.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, you think about it.
He's been in 9 now.
Yeah. Yeah. We're at Super Bowl 45. Is that where we're at?
Somewhere around there.
What Super Bowl are we at? I see it. That's what's up. How are we going to have an NFL show? We forget what Super Bowl we're on. Shit. I think we're on Super Bowl 45. I think that's the whole point.
Derrick Henry got Offensive Player of the Year for knocking people into the nether.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Herbert and his arm, Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yes.
Aaron Donald just harassing everybody except Deebo Samuel.
Yep.
Defensive Player of the Year.
Yep.
Everybody knew this was going to happen. Alex Smith won Comeback Player of the Year. that man who said he wanted Tom Brady that did not like what he got. Chase Young got the Defensive Rookie of the Year.
He got Tom Brady front row seats to the whole damn show. That's what he got. Oh, yeah.
From the Deacon Jones Award went to T.J. Watt.
Oh, yeah.
The ground player, I believe Derrick Henry's going to win that one.
Mm-hmm.
The assistant coach of the Bills won the Assistant Coach of the Year award, Brian Daboll.
Yep.
The clutch performer of the year, you actually have two players on the same team who tied for it, and it was the Hail Murray.
Oh, yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yep.
Air player, Josh Allen.
Not bad. Yeah. I mean, they all deserved it. John says you should hear these terrible Detroit Lions fans acting like Matthew Stafford died. Oh, speaking of which, we got to... So the moment of the year actually happened. I thought we would have so many moments. Because remember, all right, so me and Big Sim were going to talk about moments of the year. I'm glad that John brought this one up. So moments that stood out to you this entire year. There's one particular moment that I thought my moment of the year was going to be where DK Metcalf chased down the corner. I thought that was going to be my moment of the year. My moment of the year actually happened in the middle of the playoff season when Dan Campbell was hired. And he's talking about he's going to bite people's knees.
Bite their kneecaps. What?
Yeah, he's going to eat people's kneecaps. So thank you, John, for reminding me, Mr. Whitby, for reminding me of that. He said one too many Johns in this chat. I'll call you JP3. How does that sound, John? Would that make you feel good? JP3? JP3. Gonna have his own theme music?
Gonna be like fucking Alex Van Pelt, AVP.
So listen, for this is the inside joke between me and Big Sid, okay? So we used to play NFL 2K.
I injured all your quarterbacks.
Yes, he injured all my quarterbacks. So we're in the middle of a season, and we're playing season. It's the first time that me and Sin are playing against each other in this season. I was the Eagles. He was the Patriots. It was in the middle of the season. He was scared of Alex Van Pelt because of every time that I put in Alex Van Pelt to quarterback the team, I would come back from deficits like 35-0 and come back and win the game. Well,
because the 2K games, let's call a spade here. They had that weird blitz thing. Oh wait, we got to make sure it stays close. That's what this was.
So Big Sim over here, when he knew when he got the Patriots on the Eagles, he said, "I'm going to take out everyone." I said, "No, you're not." So he injured Alex Van Pelt first. Then he injured Donovan McNabb. Then I couldn't remember who my third string quarterback was.
Then I injured your punter.
Oh yes, then he injured the kicker and then the punter. But for some reason it was glitched out, so he brought in another punter. So he brought back in the punter. So every time the punter got hit, whether he was touched, he was injured. And they had to bring in the kicker. And then the kicker got injured, and then they had to bring back in the punter. And then the punter got injured, and they had to bring back in the kicker.
You just kept on singing the Tecmo Bowl injury music.
I lost that game to probably the tune of like 70-something to 9. And then I had no more Alex Van Pelt, so I couldn't go on with the season. It was just like a wrap. I think that's what I was like, I can't even play no more. Fuck this season. Alex Van Pelt out for the year. McNabb's out for the year. Fuck. Okay. So yes, Dan Campbell, Hulk, as John Whitby calls him, Hulk Hogan. His kneecaps are going to be taken off next year. Apparently, people are going to get hit in the nuts. According to Dan Campbell, they're going to poke people in the eye. Basically, they're going to turn into the early '80s Raiders. That's my understanding.
Dan Campbell gave an '80s wrestling fucking interview as his head coaching interview.
He's like, let me tell you something, Mean Gene.
Well, at least he didn't pull a Booker T talking about Hulk Hogan.
Oh yes, he's like NFC North. We're coming for you, Nick. Oh.
Better go be PT coach on fucking South Park again.
Oh my god. So yes, Dan Campbell was what was a season like this was capped off by Dan Campbell's fucking rant. It needed that. Okay.
My favorite moment of this year was Baker Mayfield sliding into the touchdown dance like somebody sliding into an Instagram model's DM. You know what I'm saying?
Wee!
That shit was so dope.
Yo.
All right, what was your low moment of the year?
My low moment? Ooh.
I can name it for you.
What? Go ahead.
3 words. MetLife Stadium.
Oh yeah. Back to backs too. Fucking first time we went to MetLife, it took half our players. Second, the next week at the same stadium, it took the other half of our players.
And in both weeks, the ambulances who actually are at the stadium broke down.
Yep. Pretty fucking much. For a place called MetLife, there was no life in there. There was nothing but death. But we should.
You know why, right?
Why?
Because Lucy from the Peanuts is running their medical ward like she used to hold the ball for Charlie Brown.
Oh my lord! I mean, a stadium that even took out its own players. Saquon Barkley died in that same stadium. Oh, here, John's favorite part of the system. We're fine.
That's his low point. That's his low point of the year. We're fine. We're fine.
We were fine until we stepped on the field.
Yeah, but you said that after the whole MetLife debacle. We're fine. Oh, Nick Bosa's out for the year. We're fine.
Well, I didn't think that they'd take the other half of our team the next week.
One of our people who like to watch us can go back through our NFL stuff and just make a compilation of James saying we're fine. I bet you it'll run about a half hour long.
Probably. I'm not going to say but I'm just saying, listen.
This summer, John was like, unsubscribe, never watch it again. Fuck you. Fuck you.
I hate you assholes. You're a bunch of assholes. Oh, man.
So let's get into the meat and potatoes of what's going on right now. I also wanted to ask you this. What did you think of the report that came out that Sean McVay and his wife and Matthew Stafford and his wife went to Mexico and had dinner after the trade?
It was a little swingers thing. That's what it was. They have they're quote unquote about that life. Okay, that's what it is.
All the same age.
Yes, about that life.
Jerry Goff is like, man, you really don't know when they don't want you until you leave, and then they go out and have dinner in Mexico. Okay.
Yeah, well, pretty much. Well, the crazy part about it is that so the Rams, for some reason, again, because they're in LA, paying big money and big consequences for a quarterback. Listen, the Lions won this trade. Let's just start there, okay? The Lions have completely won this trade. They got Jared Goff and 2 first-rounders. Do you know what that means? That if it doesn't work out with Jared Goff, guess what? They have 2 first-rounders to fix it. Like,
you know who lost this trade?
What?
Any NFL team trying to get Deshaun Watson.
Do you blame them?
No, but I know the Texans, even though Deshaun Watson already came out and said he's willing to sit out this year if they don't trade him. But Nick Casario and the new head coach have no reason not to ask for half a franchise for Deshaun Watson when the Detroit Lions, when the Rams gave up all this for Matt Stafford, who's not even half the talent that Deshaun Watson is.
True. But the thing is that you pay that. See, Deshaun Watson will not work as well in the Rams' offense as he would in maybe like a New England or a San Francisco or, hell, at this point, like a New Orleans or a Miami or a bunch. Yeah. The thing is, with Sean McVay's offense is a lot of passing. Jared Goff, remember, I think he set 2 years in a row a record of how many passes he set, and Jared Goff was out for 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you have to. He said Stafford doesn't like coaches being mean to him. Dan Campbell didn't get a chance to be mean to him. He just bit his kneecaps off. That's all. It's no big deal.
No, that's coming from Matt Stafford saying he didn't want to go to New England because he didn't like that Bill Belichick challenges his players.
Deshaun Watson would be better in New England than Matt Stafford ever would. It's just simply because Matt Stafford is a passer's passer. And
yeah, but New England was the one place that Matt Stafford refused to get traded to because of the way Bill Belichick treats his players.
And that would have been fine. All right, I'll give him that. But he still wouldn't have been as good in New England as he probably would be in the Rams. I honestly think that he'll still set records, and the Rams will be in the same position that they were this year. I just see it that way if they make the playoffs. The only benefit now is that Drew Brees is no longer in New Orleans. Who knows what the hell's going to happen with Dak Prescott? Because remember, that is still a situation that nobody wants to talk about.
Well, yeah, the Cowboys offered him the same offer he turned down during the season.
Yep. Like, oh, you want to do it again? No. Cam Newton's not done. Matter of fact, Cam Newton, by all intents and purposes, earned himself a raise. He said, don't send Watson to New England. I love you, Sid, but come on. Well, the thing is now is that New England didn't make the playoffs. They have a first-round draft pick, a high one at that now. They can easily send a package.
Edelman, Gilmore in that 15th pick for Deshaun Watson and the 6th rounder.
He said Bill Belichick going to turn to some other draft picks. I want my draft picks. I'll take Deshaun Watson off your hands, but I need all your draft picks. What do you mean? You're asking for Deshaun Watson? No, I understand that.
We're going to give you Julian and Stephon Gilmore coming off a complete pair of his quad. We're still going to take all of your draft picks.
He should have did this trade while Bill O'Brien was still there. That's probably why they fired Bill O'Brien. Okay.
Shit. He going to trade Deshaun in New England for a pack of Pringles and some pork rinds.
You know, that's exactly why they got rid of his ass early before the trade deadline, because that's exactly what was going to happen.
But they hired a guy who's worked with Bill Belichick for the last 15 years.
They were going to trade Deshaun Watson for one of Bill Belichick's older hoodies with the holes in them that he wears at practice.
I'm going to give you the hoodie.
So he said Cam Newton will be missing wide open screen passes for a couple more years at least. No. And if anybody probably has anything to say about Cam Newton can, depending on what happens over the next 2 days, might actually end up in a freaking Indianapolis. If the Indianapolis doesn't pull off the Wentz trade, which that's the rumors are spinning right now. The Wentz trade is going to be done real soon, and it's not even going to cost the Colts that much money to make this happen.
If Wentz ends up in Indy, I could see Jacoby Brissett being the starting quarterback in New England next year.
Yeah. If the sad part about this is that 2 years ago, well, last year, towards the end of last year, before Deshaun Watson became a thing, not Deshaun Watson, before Phillip Rivers leaving became a thing, we were really talking about Jacoby Brissett running it back and healthy, taking Indianapolis to the playoffs, because all we needed him was to be healthy, and he was straight. He should have never came back that fast.
Offensive line, which they never gave Andrew Luck, but they gave Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, but remember Andrew Luck's last year, he had Frank Reich's offensive line. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was in the benefit of that, which I don't understand why he retired after getting blessed with one of the best O-lines in the NFL.
But he still got sacked more than anybody in the league.
No, that last year he didn't even get sacked.
He did. He was out for most of the season. That's why he retired. The offensive line was drafted after Luck retired.
No. The last year when they went 12-4, but they got eliminated in the first round by New England, if I remember correctly. Because remember, we talked about the more things change, the more they stay the same. Andrew Luck can't get past Tom Brady. That was the whole deal. And after that, he retired. He was like, fuck this, because he hurt himself in the New England game. And he knew it was going to take a long time to come back. And he was like, you know what? I don't want to fucking do it no more. That was Frank Reich's offensive line that he built. That's the whole thing about it. Jacoby Brissett performed well, but couldn't get farther than where he got. Phillip Rivers performed well, but couldn't get farther than where he got. Now we have Carson Wentz, if that's the play. And if it's not him, you can feasibly see they can sign Cam Newton for less money and add more weapons in Indy. Indy is a playoff team. I feasibly, really honestly think that they could put somebody that's a second-string quarterback back there now and still make the playoffs with a 10-6 record, because their offensive line is that good, and they'll make a star out of a second-stringer. I really honestly think so. But Brissett, I think he goes back to New England. I think that's already in the cards. I think that's depending especially if Indy signs a veteran, if they pull off the Wentz thing and don't try to bring Brissett up to speed, Brissett's gone. Dak Prescott again is still a free agent. Everybody can go under the radar, and Dak Prescott could slide into New England and end up with on a run. And nobody's talking about this. Nobody's talking about the fact. I understand Bill Belichick may be willing to put the money up with incentives because, listen, Bill Belichick will prove that he is the better coach than Tom Brady is a quarterback. I feel that.
The Patriots have the highest amount of cap space in the NFL going into next year.
Yeah. They could pull off a sign and trade for Dak. And Dak, I would think, would sign for New England for less money than to sign for the Cowboys after what Jerry and Stephen Jones are doing with his fucking life.
But yeah, because Robert Kraft is a player's owner.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, nobody's just there's a lot of stuff, a lot of stories going on. Ben Roethlisberger might be done. That's a quarterback spot. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. That's a spot that's open.
I still think Cam's going to end up in Washington when all said and done.
Yeah, I think that's a possibility. I think that's a higher possibility than anything else for Cam. There's feasibly more quarterback spots available than there are decent quarterbacks, which means that one of two things are going to happen. If you're going to get a subpar quarterback that's got to step up his fucking game, or a rookie that needs an opportunity and a chance. I want to say there's 14. I believe there's 14 or 15 good spots available left in the NFL to quarterback. Yeah. And 3 of those are going to be filled by the top 3 rookies, but the rest are still finding out. There's not enough spots. There's not enough spots.
Cam Newton makes sense with Chicago, who is moving on from Trubisky.
Yeah, but Chicago is a different animal. And I know that John Whitby's going to agree with me on this one. The one thing that Chicago can't do is have a good quarterback. Jim McMahon was not a great quarterback. Jim Harbaugh was serviceable. Jim Harbaugh, okay, fine. Jim Harbaugh was serviceable too. He was better in Indianapolis than he was in Chicago.
I know I hate to say this. In the last 30 years, the best Bears quarterback was, hey, give me the ball, let me throw it down the field.
Smoking Jay Cutler. Smoking Jay fucking Cutler. And you know what? He regressed.
And Jay Cutler.
Well, and the thing is, he regressed from when he was in Denver when he went to Chicago. That tells you a lot about Chicago. Point blank, period. That tells you everything you need to know about Chicago. Jay Cutler was basically Brett Favre and John Elway's gunslinging love child. Okay? And then all of a sudden he was hamstrung and coddled and shielded when he went.
With nicotine addiction.
Yeah. Yeah. It was treated like some kind of, prize that needed to be coddled and babied, and they made him pass less. They made him not run the scramble and shit. They didn't make him do shit. And somehow they made the fucking playoffs and almost got to the Super Bowl. Chicago is where quarterbacks go to die. Nick Foles has died twice now. Trubisky has died every season.
So I just want to get your honest opinion. If Trubisky gets out of Chicago, okay, does he find success somewhere else? Because he showed he has the talent to win.
Not with any team that needs a quarterback right now, no. This is the problem with Trubisky. Trubisky's skill set involves scrambling. It involves basing the offense around a lot of read option and some things like that. That's where his skill set is. There's really only two places that have the bounty on that one. One is the Ravens. The other one is the Bills. That's it. Lamar Jackson. Now I could feasibly see they cut RG3. So I could honestly say that you could probably have Mitch Trubisky backing up Lamar Jackson, but how long is he going to back him up for? Until he wants a shot on his own. The same thing with Buffalo. Josh Allen's young as fuck. Both these quarterbacks are young as fuck. Yeah, they're not going anywhere. Just like John just said, Trubisky needs a system that's built specifically for him. Those are literally the two spots. Maybe, I know John's going to hate when I say this, maybe San Francisco brings him in as a backup because we've obviously seen the ceiling that is Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard. They have
You love Nick Mullins.
I do, but we should have traded him when we didn't expose his flaws this season. Around week 8, week 9, we should have traded him.
I told you at the beginning of the season, be hard with a better quarterback than Nick Mullins.
He is not. We found out that both of our backup quarterbacks are trash. Just different forms of trash, okay? So
just a deeper, for some reason, looks Asian when he has a helmet on, but white as shit when he doesn't have one on.
Yeah.
Type of trash. Yeah.
It just so happens that Nick Mullins can will his way somehow to wins, and CJ Beathard cannot do that. That was the big difference in it.
You know what Nick Mullins can do?
What?
Throw a lot of stupid interceptions.
Well, considering he went to Southern Miss and learned from Brett Favre,
there's got to be somebody down there. Yeah.
He said Mullins giving out picks like vaccine shots.
All right, so let's get to the big question on the day.
Okay.
Tomorrow, the Super Bowl halftime show, The Weeknd, put up $7 million of his own money to make it his own.
This man doing too much. This man doing too much with his money, man. Listen, it's probably going to be a great show. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you that it's not. It's going to be a great fucking show. It's The Weeknd. Like, he knows how to artistically create shit. I've seen clips from his live concerts. Dude knows how to do some creative shit. He's created his own little like skits and your little like short movies and stuff like that. Hell, the last video he just came out with, you see what he did with his face. He got everybody thinking that he had some kind of disease when real life, because he walked around in real life with the face all fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it really looked like he was like, I can't feel my face when I'm with you, but on real low. Did you feel what the hell was going on over here, bro?
So I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be different. It's not going to be like a Lady Gaga show. It's not going to be like
put up $7 million of his own money. Pepsi really couldn't fund that. Because in my opinion, the entertainment industry is what's taking a hit during COVID.
Yeah,
not the drink industry.
Well, true. Although Pepsi will sit there and tell you that since its restaurants were closed, they haven't been able to sell much soda. So there's kind of, because remember, Pepsi's only in certain specific restaurants, not all of them. But that's another story for another day. Anyways.
I'm going to put you on the spot, sir. There's a light shining down on you. Does Tom Brady win the Super Bowl at home, get number 7, before going into next year to go to Foxborough, beat the shit out of the Patriots, so he can say he's beaten every team in the NFL? Or does, I know JP3's going to hate when I say this shit, touchdown Jesus going to get number 2?
So I've been thinking about this since we talked about this. I've really been crunching the numbers and really just been kind of finding out what is going to be the difference in this game. Now, the Chiefs have one X factor, which is Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, there's not a lot of people that can really fuck with Tyreek Hill on any kind of level whatsoever. Like, they can't really catch him. You'd have to really contain him and build a defense to contain him and do what you need to do. Okay? But Tampa Bay is built for this win. Let me tell you why. Okay? They have 2 good running backs. They have Ronald Jones, and they got Leonard Fournette close to the beginning of the season. They have Mike Evans. They have Chris Godwin. They have Antonio Brown, who's the X factor in this game. And they have the other X factor, also known as Florida Edelman, I like to call him, Mr. Scotty Miller.
And don't forget that other rookie they have, Johnson, who's made big play after big play this postseason.
Mm-hmm. They have Rob Gronkowski. I think O.J. Howard's out for the season. He was out for the season, right?
They do have what's his name? The other big ass white dude.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember.
Yeah, that dude. He's been playing well.
Yes. So they have him. So the other part about this that everybody seems to forget is that Tampa Bay, Bruce Arians specifically, is probably one of the better defensive minds in the NFL. The defense, Tampa Bay's defense is a top 5 defense. Now, the San Francisco 49ers a year ago was the number 1 defense in the NFL, with also the number 1 running game in the NFL. But we struggled at quarterback going into the Super Bowl, and when we needed our quarterback to make plays, he didn't make those plays. Also, when we had an offensive coordinator that needed to slow shit down, he didn't slow shit down. Tom Brady's not going to let that happen. Bruce Arians is not going to let that happen. When it's all said and done, Tom Brady's going to get this ring. And there's not a thing that anybody can do about it. That's just kind of how it goes. And we can sit here and say that Mahomes is a great quarterback. And I'm not going to sit here and doubt Mahomes is a great quarterback. But with as leaky as that Kansas City defense is, middle of the road defense, I might add, that gave up some big plays against Buffalo just 2 weeks ago. Gave up some big plays the week before. But Mahomes outballed them. I don't think that that's going to be able to be the case. Now, I know everybody can say that Buffalo's a better defense. Personnel-wise, yes, they are a better defense. Scheme-wise, I think Arians' experience trumps everybody's shit. Trust me when I tell you that Arians has been sitting in the lab trying to sort this thing out. Trust me when I tell you that Byron Leftwich is sitting in the lab thinking about how many ways he's going to anally the freaking Kansas City Chiefs' defense.
You mean like Tom Brady has done 4 times in his career?
Yeah. Yeah. There's going to be a scheme and there's going to be a plan. And there's going to – but keep in mind the times that Tom Brady did this to Patrick Mahomes, he has had nowhere near the offense that he has had. Okay? Am I wrong?
Oh, no, I was waiting for you to say it.
He has not had an offense this potent, and he has also not been in this full control of this offense. The plays are the plays. Tom Brady calls them like he calls them, but the plays are the plays, and they take advantage of the fact that they're gonna beat you deep. Who's gonna stop? They have Antonio Brown going up the middle. Who's gonna stop Antonio Brown? You got a corner that's going to stop Evans and Godwin. And then if you got that all figured out, who's going to stop Scotty Miller? And if you somehow, some way figure out all of that, who you got to cover Gronk?
The guy who Tom Brady is most comfortable with on the field.
And if we get past all that, apparently Leonard Fournette knows how to catch screen passes now, and so does Ronald Jones.
Somehow.
Never.
I have one X factor that you didn't bring up.
Who?
And I'm not surprised you didn't bring up that Tampa Bay has that Kansas City does not.
What?
A player on their team who is willing to injure somebody and not give a second thought about it.
Oh, yes. Ndamukong Suh.
And Jason Pierre-Paul, who is playing at a higher level than he did in New York.
The one-handed wonder. Oh.
Him missing those 2 fingers somehow made it.
Well, did you seen the report on that? It made it. They said that because he's built up the strength where he's built it up, it makes it easier for him to come off the line. And I'm just like, what? So, yeah, this is like I said, the defense is built for this.
Like I said, and Ndamukong Suh is not afraid to cheap shot somebody.
Oh no. Imagine the Ndamukong Suh getting kicked out of a game after blasting the shit out of Mahomes and making Chad Henne having to be. Listen, the Ndamukong Suh gonna get a Super Bowl ring.
I don't wish injury or dirty play on anybody.
No.
I don't put it past the Ndamukong Suh. He has stepped on Aaron Rodgers' face before.
If Suh can get a Super Bowl ring, and Suh's gonna get a Super Bowl ring, regardless of whether he finishes the game or not. But if he takes out somebody, he still gets a Super Bowl ring. You know, I'm just saying.
All right, so here's the question. Who wins the Super Bowl?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers by at least 10. I have them covering, and I'll even give them 10 on top of that. What about you?
I'm picking the Bucs. I know a lot of my Patriot fan friends are mad at me because I'm not a Brady hater. Why should I be? He gave us blessings for 19 fucking seasons. There's no way in hell you could be mad at the man.
No, you can't. That's what I'm saying. You can't be mad at him at all.
Especially when we were considered the worst franchise in the NFL before he got there.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, we at some point have to acknowledge and realize that Tom Brady, they built this team to get Tom Brady to the Super Bowl. Okay? Because remember,
that happened next year, not this year in the season where they had no offseason.
But isn't that even better?
No, it is. Because it shows, it should show everybody the length and the measures that Tom Brady takes in perfecting his craft.
Yeah. But we're going to sit here, listen, we can sit here and go through the mental gymnastics all day about what happened, how it happened, where it happened, why it happened. And we can even say that they got lucky because San Francisco's team died at MetLife twice. Okay? We can sit here and say that Drew Brees got injured and then when he was healthy didn't step up. We can say that. We can say that Seattle came crashing down to earth after scoring 45, 50 points in what, 3 or 4 games this season. Hell, we could say that Dak Prescott getting hurt opened up everything in the NFC East if we really wanted to. But the fact of the matter is that if you look at it as is, Tom Brady is the best quarterback. Well, Tom Brady is the best quarterback on the best team in the NFC. Point blank, period. Hey, you're fuzzy.
Sorry. Now, and I can't sit here and say that if the 49ers were healthy, that they would have beat the Buccaneers, because I don't think they would have. Would have been a great match.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. That's the whole point of what I'm saying. Like, we could sit here and say that they got lucky, but let's do the math. Tampa Bay was still the better team. They're offensive talent-wise, they're better than anybody else. Defensive talent-wise as a whole, talent-wise, not scheme, talent-wise, better than everybody else as a whole. There isn't a reason why they shouldn't win the Super Bowl tomorrow. If they're the most talented team, they're a top 5 defense. Tom Brady is your quarterback. You have players that are considered top 10 at every position. Mike Evans is the top 5 receiver. Antonio Brown was at some point was considered a top 10 receiver. It probably still is at this point. I can still make the argument for it. Yeah. Rob Gronkowski, if you think about all the tight ends that are in the NFL, he's even healthy. Rob is still a top 10 NFL tight end.
Yeah, you see, when it comes to Gronk, you can't compare him to anybody. Even Kelsey. Kelsey is not on Gronk's level.
If Gronk had not taken the years off that he did, or the time off that he did, you'd still be saying Gronk. Gronk, what's his name? Oh my goodness. Gronk, Kittle, Kelsey. That's your top 3. We wouldn't even be having this conversation about Gronk being top 10. So he took the year off, and so now Kittle stepped up. Kelsey stepped up, but Gronk, we can put him up there because there's a few guys, Hooper, that are young but unproven. Gronk has proven as the season has gone on that he's still Gronkowski. He's still Gronk.
Yeah. So Rob Gronkowski is probably going to be a Hall of Famer with the most minimal amount of years playing in the NFL.
Yeah. He was a Hall of Famer before he came back last year. You think about that. Before he came back, he was a Hall of Famer. But that's where I'm at right now. The best team that's taking the field tomorrow is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Kansas City is not that complete of a team to warrant me saying that Kansas City is going to win. And I know Kansas City's favorite only because they have Mahomes. You take Mahomes out of the equation, Tampa Bay's favored by at least 10, if not more. Just saying.
Agreed.
All right. So, Big Sin, it was a pleasure. In 2020, well, we got one more recap show. We got to talk our shit during the Super Bowl. We're going to throw out some highlights, all that jazz. But as far as our rundowns and Fallout shows, this is the last rundown show. So we ran down the NFC championships, AFC championships, and when we Fallout, we did all that. We are in year 4. This is the 4th year that we have done this. And it's been a pleasure, sir, as always. I want to thank you. I want to thank the fans. I want to thank John out there, both Johns, JP3 out there, for sticking by us, coming through to every show, showing them love. I want to show love to Toby for coming through, always showing some love, and everybody that's ever come through throughout the season.
Stephanie has popped on many times this year.
Mm-hmm. Yes, anybody. I appreciate all y'all. This train is not stopping, y'all. It's gonna keep going, infinity and beyond, bitches. You know how it goes. Big Sin, you got anything you like?
Who disappeared on himself?
Who?
That little bitch, Jeff Olsen. That motherfucker disappeared on us last year.
Oh yeah, I know. You know why though? I know why he disappeared.
He did a couple of live shows with us.
I know why he disappeared.
Gas.
Yeah, I know why he disappeared. You know, politics, politics, as they say. So, Big Sin, is there anything you'd like to say before we bounce about it here?
Also, another person who hasn't showed up in a while because he was here every week when the Steelers were undefeated. Mr. Michael Cooper stopped showing up after week 11. Yeah, I'm calling everybody out.
He said, I'm calling out names. He's like, motherfucker
anyway.
D, motherfucker M. Oh.
We told you that the Steelers were fake.
Yep. We told you they were fakes, frauds, phonies, and stands, but you didn't listen. You didn't fucking listen. And we said
that your feelings hurt.
Oh, and I think it's hilarious. We still said that the Browns were going to cost Steeler a playoff contention. I didn't think they were going to be as right as we were. Jeez.
Anyway, if you're over on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. Ring a ding ding that bell. You're on Facebook, like and follow. We'll see you soon.
Yes. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, that's my man Big Sin over there. Over there. I'm your boy Hollywood J. Black. This is That Damn NFL Show. Until next time, we out this thing. Deuces.